good morning and welcome to Unity of Columbia. And however you've shown up today, whether you're physically here in this space or whether you have joined us online today, just know that this is a spiritual celebration and we thank you for being present today. So last week we reminded ourselves that we are here for a holy purpose. Do you remember that? Yes. And we say thank you for that light and that clarity, and thank you for awakening us to our true nature. We say thank you for the peace and the wisdom and all of the love, knowing that no matter what the outer appearance of things may be, no matter what's going on for you, whatever is showing up, just know that you are in the right and perfect place at the right time. So we're going to claim that together today. Say with me, I'm in the right place. At the right time, right here and now. Let's stand and greet each other, knowing we're in the right and perfect place.
You are loved. I am loved. We are loved. Good morning, everybody. My name is McGinity, and I'm serving as your facilitator today. Glad to be here. We're grateful to all who have contributed to our service today. Welcome to all here in the sanctuary, joining us online, and everybody that will listen later. We ask that you turn your cell phones off here in the sanctuary so we can honor our time together here. And if you're a first-timer today, we would especially like to welcome you. The ushers have a welcome packet for you, and there's a place out in the hallway that you can sign up for the e-newsletter, and you can find out what's going on around here. There's a lot of things that happen through the week, a lot of ways to get involved and have fun. Today's reading is from Myrtle Fillmore. When everyone seeks to live in perfect harmony with the divine law, they will begin to see order in their lives. And discord, if there is any, will be the unusual thing. In fact, there will be nothing but order, harmony, and perfect conditions when we learn to express our Christ selves. Now, please join me in affirming our vision, mission, and core values. Our vision is, we celebrate a spiritually awakened world. And our mission is, we inspire the awakening and practice of divine love in every heart. In addition, we celebrate our core values, knowing that we have come here to be Spirit-centered and to express the values of love, peace, and connection. The announcements for today. There is a Charles Fillmore book group, a weekly spirit-led book group with Betty Fletcher, and it continues each Sunday at 11:45 in the living room. So after the services today, you can go to the Charles Fillmore book group. And coming up this Friday, Bunko Night, it's pretty fun. It's on Friday from 6 to 8, and it's on June 27th, and it's always fun, no experience necessary. You don't have to know anything. Just shake some dice, that's it. There's no skill involved. Listen, you can find details about these activities in the foyer too. And I'll give you a reminder that the Miles for Ministry sponsorship, which we are sponsoring we're sponsoring Kristen Cherry on her hike along the Appalachian Trail, is now open. So the details are in this flyer and in the e-newsletter. If you click on the link in the e-newsletter, it'll take you right directly to the sponsorship page. So let's support Kristen with her safe travels on this adventurous journey. And next Sunday is Taco Sunday. Sounds good already. Bring your favorite taco ingredients to share, and make sure you've invited 2 friends. And that's next Sunday on June 29th. Taco shells will be provided, but everybody else will bring all the other ingredients. Beth Redding would like to make an announcement now. I'd like to invite her up.
Thank you. Good morning. A few weeks ago, I sat talking to a board member after a spirit group meeting. We were in the living room, and I asked if we would be able to rent the house side of Unity to raise money for the church. Even though it could stand some repairs here and there, it still meets code now, and we would be able to rent. Reverend Dan said, and I've lost my place, excuse me, that it could use some sprucing up, particularly the bathroom and the kitchenette. There are some things in the downstairs room that need sorting. I do not live in Columbia, and I have back issues, but I'm ready to step up and help, and I hope that you are too. We need to have a sense of urgency about what we can do for the church. We will be meeting on June 28th, this Saturday, at 1:30. You have time to sleep in, to eat lunch, and then come and help. Please bring some cleaning supplies and enthusiasm. Sign up in the foyer or just come and help. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth. The daily word today is guidance. Our affirmation: with an open mind, with an open heart and mind, I heed divine guidance. If I am feeling lost or do not know which way to turn, I take comfort in knowing I can pray and bring my awareness to my connection with God. Wherever I am on my spiritual journey, I receive divine guidance continually, and it is up to me to heed it. Divine guidance does me little good if I doubt it or feel too hesitant to act upon it. I commit to remaining open and receptive as I receive my guidance. Even if the call of my heart surprises me, even if I doubt I can do what I am being called to do, I trust the still, small voice within. I affirm I am divinely guided and faith-filled. Our scripture reading is from Isaiah chapter 58, verse 11. The Lord will guide you continually and satisfy your needs in parched places, and make your bones strong, and you shall be like a watered garden, like a spring of water whose waters never fail. Now let's say the affirmation together. With an open heart and mind, I heed divine guidance. Now, say it silently to yourself. The prayer box is a symbol of blessing today, held by Leanne. In prayer, we expand our awareness, knowing that we are expressions of God. We open our minds to receive an abundance of all that is necessary to fulfill our soul's purpose. We now hold others in prayer. Please speak your loved one's name aloud so that we can collectively hold space. For all the names on our hearts, know that what you have been asked for has been heard and answered. Unity prayer chaplains are available to pray with you this morning after the service. Jackie is here. Let's prepare for a time of song and meditation.
Welcome, summer. Now it's time for our meditation. If you're comfortable, please close your eyes. And if you will, place one hand on your belly and one on your heart. And allow the awareness of your body with each inhale and lowering with each exhale. Draw a deep breath in through your nose. And pause. And exhale slowly out your mouth. Do this again. Deep through your nose. Hold it. And slowly release. Now, let your breath return to normal. Bring your attention to how your body feels now, where you feel it connected to your chair. Notice any places of tension and imagining your breath going there and allowing complete surrender and release. You should feel completely at ease, calm, secure, as we're ready to enter our inner journey. Every summer as a child, my sister and I spent most of our time at our great-grandparents' house in St. Louis, where I grew up. My great-grandpa, Papa, would fill up that old, round, galvanized pool with that crisp, cool water that came out of the garden hose. We would wait ever so impatiently as he filled that pool. We were so antsy with anticipation. The air was heavy with humidity and the heat that those from Missouri truly know. Finally, we were given the all clear. We were joyfully jumping into that pool with all the enthusiasm little girls can muster. The feeling of that cold water on our skin was abrupt and so refreshing. We would wade and dance and swim and swirl, and we'd swirl and we'd swirl around and around, making a whirlpool, swirling around. And then we would lay on our back and we just go round and around and around, effortlessly on our backs, looking at the sky, the blue sky, the wispy clouds floating by, feeling effortless. Now you feel effortless. You see yourself in that pool, swirling and swirling, knowing you are loved by Spirit now. Allow this sense of freedom and joy and love flow throughout your body. And when you're ready, take a nice deep breath. Remember the sights, the sounds, and the feelings of the gifts of summer. Take in the sense of peace, knowing your oneness with the divine. Give thanks for this time in the silence together.
Well, the Unity movement has been profoundly shaped by visionary women. They served as ministers and leaders and teachers and writers, and we hear about many of the main ones like Myrtle and Emily Cady, but we don't hear about the many others who made enormous contributions to Unity. Throughout Unity's history, women have been integral not only as spiritual leaders, but also as organizational leaders. And by that, I mean they have headed up teams at Unity Village. They've been on boards at Unity Worldwide Ministries, where they've served ministers and ministries. They've been on boards of churches. And so when we think of the early 1900s, that was not the case in many churches or spiritual groups. Women were not allowed to even serve on many church boards, let alone be ministers. So Unity was really thought of as a radical movement. And I know that might be hard to believe today, but when you think of the 1900s, it really was a radical move forward. And so the women who were involved in Unity really shaped the spiritual movement. And that's why today we see Unity as being heart-centered, it's diverse, it's transformative. And that legacy continues to inspire our future leaders. There's really a new generation of inspirational leaders who carry forward that light that the women established in Unity. And so today we begin the first in a series about Women of Unity, and it's just going to pop up from time to time. So I hope you will enjoy hearing about some of these lesser known Unity women. Today I begin with the story of Johnny Coleman. And it starts with a phone call she received very early one morning. And there was a voice on the end of the phone that said, "We've got bad news for you. You've got 6 months to live." And she was totally shocked by that. In fact, she started to cry. And then she hit the side table and a magazine fell off the side table. And the name of that magazine was Weekly Unity. And there on the front page was one sentence that really stood out to her. And that sentence was, "God is your help, you can't be sick." And she read it again, "God is your help, you can't be sick." And she was so amazed. She said, I want to know who wrote that sentence. I want to know who that was. And then she saw that it was put out by the Unity School. So she got into her car and she drove to Lee's Summit. And when she went down there, she came across one of the teachers at the school. And the teacher said, "Well, the school's closed for the holidays, but in 2 weeks' time, their next semester starts, and you can come back then if you like." So Johnny Coleman went home, and she came back in 2 weeks' time, and she ended up enrolling in the school and doing her training as a Unity minister. So that was really her introduction to Unity. She started teaching some of those ideas that she was learning at the school around the kitchen table. So she talked to her family about the things she was learning, and then she had friends coming for dinner and she'd tell them all about it, and they noticed a big shift in her because she was healing from the inside, and they noticed that there was a light around her that they'd not seen before. So they knew that there was something to this thing called Unity. Johnny Coleman was one of only 3 African American students to be ordained as Unity ministers in the 1950s. And in those days, the students lived on campus, except if you were of colour. So she had to live in Kansas City, catch the bus to Unity Village and back every day. And she did that for about 2 years, and then she got jack of it and she said, I'm not doing that anymore. And so a couple of her classmates stood up for her as well and supported her, and Unity gave her one of the workmen's cottages on the property. And that was used for her to live in, but also any of the African American students lived and shared that space as their accommodation. So I just imagine that that experience that she had must have put questions in her mind about what really is unity. You know, is unity practicing what it preaches? But she was so curious, she kept going, and she was eventually ordained as a unity minister. So Johnny Coleman had many great teachings, but she did say these words. She said, "The words I speak are for me, not you. Until you can put down all the churchiness and the cuteness and get involved, you will not get any results. This stuff, if you work it, will work. It will heal your body. It will make your pocketbook fat. It will bring you peace of mind and harmony in your home. It works if you work it." She said it works when you know there's only one presence. It works when you know how to claim that. You have to claim it, even though it's already yours. You have to claim it. And then she describes God. She says, desire. Desire is God tapping at the door of your soul. Please let me come in. Let me come in and express as you. And so she says, it works if you work it. Let's say that together. It works if you work it. And she was a great teacher of prosperity. She had a lot of really wonderful teachings around that. She said, I'm a rich child of God. And some of her key ideas about prosperity were, what you believe is what you receive. So what do you really believe? She said, what you choose will become your world. So what are you choosing? And she said, what you expect is what you get. So what are you expecting? In response to the discrimination that she had experienced at Unity, she ended up founding her own progressive New Thought church. And in her 50 years of ministry, she built 3 churches and 2 institutions. So she really put her prosperity principles into action. Her first church was the Christ Unity Temple in Chicago, which seated 1,000 people. She outgrew that church and then later built the Christ Universal Temple, which was, had 4,000 people going through it on a Sunday, and it was one of the really big mega churches in Chicago. She later created the Universal Foundation for Better Living, and she built 2 institutions for teaching those principles to people. She claimed, Jesus Christ is the head of this institute. We open our minds and hearts to his teaching, for he is our guide to better living. And so her advice to us is, be determined. We all have assignments. I cannot do your assignment. Don't worry how long it takes. God is in charge. When you're determined, you let it go. To be determined means to let go and let God. And so we say together, let's say, it works if you work it. And so it is.
Hi, I'm Anne, and I'm going to start my little countdown thing because I know I have a limited amount of time up here, and I'm going to talk about Myrtle. And I want to tell you, Myrtle is something to behold. So we're going to just sort of cover her life very quickly. And the title for mine is Inspiration from Principle to Solution. Many things in life are very simple. It's one step, you know, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. You know, the meal begins with the planning, all these different things. So Myrtle was born in Ohio to a Methodist family. She was spiritual without having any dogma. She did not believe in hell. Okay, I don't know what you were doing at about like 8 or 10 years old, but she was very clear. She did not believe in hell, and she did not believe in a God who punishes. So right there, she's already different. She came in to fulfill a purpose. All right, so what I'd like for you to do, I figure if I'm up here that I can ask for something. So I would like for you to all remember where your left hand is, and we're going to use our left hand as an instrument of Myrtle, okay? And so remember your left hand. Focus on it for a moment. See it as healed. See it as perfect. See it as complete, okay? Hold on to that. All right, so again, recall for yourself what you were doing as a child. And so Myrtle, she had more of a nature focus, and she would occasionally float and leave her body because she was sickly as a child. She was destined to be sickly and to die young, is what she had been told. And so how about you all? Did you ever have somebody tell you your destiny is, fill in the blank, to be sickly or to be short or to not be talented? It just is, okay? And so what we can do is picture ourselves, and we're going to use our left hand, all right? And so she envisioned, as a child, she envisioned a world alive, good, beautiful, okay? We're going to skip ahead now, and then at 40, she was diagnosed with malaria and tuberculosis. And so she was given a very short time to live. So she did what we know Myrtle did. She started seeking spiritual answers. She said, I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness. I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness. So I would ask you to remind yourself and just sort of anchor this in your left hand. What is it that you're seeking? What is it that you're reminding yourself of? So with her husband, Charles, we do remember that he was involved in this somewhat, but I really think Myrtle was the driving force. For 2 years, what she did every day for hours was in prayer and meditation. She wasn't complaining to her neighbors, and she wasn't dilly-dallying around. She was not looking for something on the web. She was in prayer and meditation. She was affirming health for her body, and she praised life in her body, organ by organ. She thanked it for being of service. She apologized to it for not being polite to it. Okay? She gradually recovered, and then she maintained her spiritual practice until her death. So what is truly amazing to me is that she wanted people to know that the focus was not miraculous. She did not click her heels and suddenly become healed. Rather, it was intentional and it was deliberate, okay? Left hand, intentional, deliberate, okay? What is your pattern? Intentional and deliberate? Then you will get there. So with Charles, she founded Unity because he came on board once he saw that she was healing herself, and she understood the power of prayer. She published a magazine. They founded Silent Unity, and she actually answered prayers, voluminous amounts of prayers. They have so many records at Unity, and she had a crew working just typing up answers for her. And she personally reviewed all of these into her old age. Some of her phrases are, our bodies are the fruits of our minds. Whatsoever we visualize begins to take shape. Okay. We must cooperate in our healing by changing our thinking. Ooh, it's not going to be that God just taps us on the shoulder. All right. We use the power of our mind over our body. And then the biggest one, be still. So it was her mind, her body, her spirit, her divine self, her soul. She put all of these into alignment. Okay, alignment. So how are you doing with that? The example of Myrtle is you just continue to do that. So one of her answers to one of the prayers was, "You ask what restored me to vigorous health. It was a change of mind from the old carnal mind that believes in sickness to the Christ mind of life and permanent health. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind." Okay? So she moved beyond the human level. She had clarity of choice and continuously deepening into her divine soul. She changed her thoughts. She changed her life. See how simple that is? She's combining active thought and mind. She's deepening soul patterns, okay? Just like all of us. Her divine spirit ongoing, she was deeply connected to that. She made the same choices, the same qualities, the same characteristics over and over and over again. She evolved. She followed continual prayer and desire for the outcome until her death at 86. So over half of her life, she had healed herself. So diagnosed at 40 till 86, okay? Okay. On her death, what was written in the Kansas City magazine in 1931 is, "Nothing is more beautiful in retrospect than an unselfish life, earnest in its devotion to the cause of suffering humanity and the general betterment of mankind. A life that knows no death because of the wealth of tender memories that will be forever cherished in the hearts of the beneficiaries thereof. Such a life was that Mrs. Myrtle Page Fillmore." That's what she did. Her life was devoted to creating a beautiful life inside and then out picturing it. So we can all change our lives. We can all change our thoughts. We can create our health inside, outside, all the beauty around us. We can call on the example and the pathway of the heart. And again, persistence and pathways. Every change begins with the first step and the first inkling. Okay, so again, right here in our left hand, everything that you hear today, you can just anchor in this left hand. And as we go through this week, you can be a Myrtle. You can be transformed. And so it is.
Good morning, friends. As a side note from what I'm going to talk about today, I am a self-admitted worrywart, nervous Nelly, kind of high-strung, a little stressed out. You know, and what I can honestly share, what I've really appreciated with unity theology, is that there is absolutely nothing in Unity's faith or theology that has ever contributed or added to that sense of who I am. And it was interesting because when Reverend Ann gave me the opportunity to pick among an array of women leaders in Unity, that I randomly picked who I did. She happens to be the calmer of the anxious heart, and I found that out after the fact. So there is a God, So it's like, today I'm going to reflect the life and legacy, again, of a spiritual leader whose words have calmed the anxious hearts and rekindled hope in thousands of people. A woman who understood what it was meant to walk in faith, and even when that path was unclear. And her name was Reverend Mary Kupferle. I thought it was interesting in picking her. Again, I wasn't familiar with her at all, but I found the really cool thing about Mary, she was homegrown, Midwestern gal. She wasn't East Coast, she wasn't West Coast. She was born and raised in Belleville, Illinois. Where's Ray? Hoorah! In 1916, she was born and raised in 1916, and her early years were similar to all of ours. She attended public schools in Belleville and St. Louis. She lived a rooted life of everyday experience. And this was before she was called to ministry. So in 1950, she was then called to the School of Christianity, and by 1959, she was an ordained as a Unity minister. And I thought it was neat because after her ordination, she kind of stuck around the Midwest for a bit. She served parishes in St. Louis as well as Louisville until she finally started migrating south, first serving at West Palm Beach, and then she was eventually taken to become the senior pastor at the Unity of Delray Beach, Florida. And there she served for 18 years, which I found was impressive. She leading a growing church and school community with vision and compassion. I thought it was interesting that her leadership didn't stop at a local level. Mary was co-founder of what would later become Unity Worldwide Ministries, and she was the first woman elected president of the Greater Delray Beach Ministerial Alliance. And in 1976, she received an honorary doctorate of divinity for her service in spiritual leadership. It's not easy to list the accomplishments. There are numerous ones, but Mary's real life isn't in titles. It was her presence, in her gentle, grounded, reassuring way that she spoke the truth. In her words, she could break through fear, not with force, but with faith. Her message was simple and never shallow. If you've ever read a copy of the Daily Word or Unity magazine, there's a pretty darn good chance that you've encountered Mary's work. Mary published over 230 articles, poems, and essays. Her best-known books include God Never Fails, God Will See You Through, Trust in the Goodness of God, and Your Help is at Hand. What's so powerful about her writing is its sincerity. She didn't write from a pedestal, she wrote from the heart. She met people in their pain, their worry, and their loneliness, and gently reminded them of the one central truth: God is with you right now, and help is at hand. And trust me, as I read through this talk, I really needed to hear the God is with you right now and help is at hand. She also said, don't give up, don't give in, you're not alone. There is a presence at work in your life greater than any circumstance that you face. These words you want in your nightstand. Words when life feels heavy, anxious, and uncertain. These are the words that carry the vibration of somebody who lived them. Mary was deeply committed to prayer, but not the kind of prayer that begs or pleads. She taught the new thought understanding of prayer as communion with God, an alignment with presence already within. In her book, Guidelines to Prayer, she explored the threefold nature of humanity, spirit, soul, and body, how all three lifted into harmony through prayer. Her teachings invite us to an inner quiet where clarity and peace can rise to the surface, not because we force them to, but because we allow them to. She reminded us that the still small voice mentioned in 1 Kings 19:12 is always present. We just need to listen. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Not just a beautiful verse from Psalms 46, but a spiritual practice. Reverend Mary taught that prayer is a doorway. Through it, we don't change God, we change our awareness. We come home to what has always been true. We are loved, we are guided, and we are enough. We are loved, we are guided, and we are enough. And perhaps the greatest gift Reverend Mary gave Unity was hope, gentle hope, reassuring hope, not false promises, but real spiritual substance. She once said, "My greatest blessings, joys, and fulfillments and challenges have come as a result of being in the ministry. The most gratifying thing I can do is help people." And help people she did. To this day, people still turn to her writings during difficult times. I've known individuals who have carried copies of God Never Fails in their purses and glove compartments, because when fear grips the heart, it's her words that have the power to bring us back to center, to give us hope. So what can we learn from Reverend Mary today? We can learn that true strength comes in quiet form, that real ministry happens not only on a platform, but through a listening ear, a written prayer, and a voice of calm. We learn that trust in God is not wishful thinking, it's spiritual courage. So let us carry forward Reverend Mary's legacy, not just as a memory, but as a practice. Let us trust in God. Let us trust in the goodness of God. Let us be still and know. Let us too become voices of hope in this noisy, anxious world. And like Reverend Mary, may we choose every day to remind ourselves and others that God will see us through. And so it is.
Please stand. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. No more forward, no more backward, no more spinning around, around. My life is moving ever upward. My feet are leaving the ground. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. No more forward, no more darkness, no more wondering the point of it all. My life is destined, all for greatness. My feet are leaving the ground. Up to a higher place. Up, up, far beyond this time and space. Up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place.
Oh. As always, thank you for the great music setup, and thank you for the wonderful talk, Reverend Ann and Liz. Our love offering is now. We place a blessing on our gifts, and we put ourselves into the law of circulation. If you're joining us online and you've been blessed by today's message, I invite you to go to the giving page on our website, and that is unityofcolumbia.org. Your gift will help keep these services online. As we support our spiritual community, please take your offering, whether you give electronically, by check, by cash. Hold it in your hand, hold it in your heart, as we affirm these words together. Divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful.
Okay, today we open ourselves to divine ideas. We say thank you for our creation, creative beings that we are. And we open ourselves to unlimited abundance, knowing that our creative expression is the source of our supply. We say thank you for these offerings, which we release freely, knowing that they have been given with a sense of purpose and with love. And we say thank you, and we know that this is so, that abundance comes through and expresses as us. And together we say, Amen. And the children are coming in.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Hello. So today we were talking about our gift of service, how we can be of service to people around us. And what were some of the things we were talking about? Why is it important, or why is it good to do service? You want to say? Do you maybe want to show them what you drew? Yeah, here, show them your picture. I'll hold it up.
As drawing, as we go drawing.
So I'm going to ask this question one more time, and then we're going to show them what some of our other friends drew. So why is it important to give acts of service to people? You can help me? It can be kind of funny when we're in front of people, huh? Well, anyway, to give service, as we were talking about, right, guys, it gives not only to the people we're helping, but it uplifts us. And when we can lighten someone's burden, that is a benefit to everyone around us. So we were working on our helping hands, and would everyone like to show their helping hands? We got some pretty beautiful helping hands out here. Do you want to show yours, Ronya? Where's yours? Here we go. You want to show that to everyone? Okay, wonderful. So we'll bless our children. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are.
Show me your helping hands. There they are. Please rise and sing with us the prayer for protection.
God is here, the love of God surrounds us. God is here, the love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us whenever we are. God is.
As we move into our week, as we were wonderfully and beautifully made in joy and pure love, be still, listen to the voice of Spirit, and remember that wherever you are, God is.